Hey everyone, welcome to the Idiot Podcast. I'm Laura Clary and I have some super exciting news for you guys. I am taking this podcast live on tour starting January of next year. You guys, I am so excited. I finally get to meet you. I've been making content for over a decade and I've never been on tour, and now is the time. Okay, so I'm starting in January. I'm going to Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Dallas, and Phoenix. If you live in any of those cities, make sure to go to x1entertainment.com/Laura Clary. Again, that's x1entertainment.com/Laura Clary to get your tickets. And let me know in the comments where you live. What city do you live in so I can come to you? I'm so excited to get to laugh with you, cry with you, cringe with you. I'm also gonna be bringing audience members up on stage to tell me your craziest stories. I'm just so excited to get to know you and hug you and laugh with you and have a good time. It's been way too long. I've seen your comments, I've seen your screen names, but I'm just so excited to get to meet you in person. So yeah, yay, go to x1entertainment.com/Laura Clary to get your tickets. Let me know where you are living in the comments so I can come to you. I'm so excited!
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Me too.
Hi everyone, welcome to Idiot. I am so excited today. I'm here with the amazing Marissa Peer, world-renowned therapist and best-selling author. I love you.
Well, thank you.
I know
That's
we
very
just
nice. We just met.
just met and I'm saying I love you. Is that too soon?
No, it's always good to be loved. It's
Really?
never too soon.
Never too soon?
Never too soon to be loved, ever.
I like that. I found you on Instagram. I was scrolling my reels and you popped up. And it was, I believe it was, you were saying affirmations, the most important affirmations to say, which were, I am confident, I am enough, I am smart, I am worthy.
I matter and I'm significant. So the most important affirmations are I'm enough, I'm lovable, I matter, I'm significant. You could add in stuff like, I have something to offer the world, I have a unique gift and I can monetize it. But if you start with those four, I matter, I'm enough, I'm lovable, I'm significant, and then you can add, I'm finding love and love is finding me. I'm moving towards success and success is moving towards me. So with an affirmation, you've got to understand how the brain works. It only works in the present tense. You can never say, next year I'm lovable, next year I'm wealthy. The mind doesn't know what next year is. Got to be present tense, and you've got to use super descriptive words. The way you feel about everything is down to the pictures you make. In other words, imagine if you said every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. At what? Getting a cold, shoplifting, having an upset stomach. The mind doesn't even know what that means. Getting better and better. At what? Avoidance. So you can't, it's got to be super, super descriptive. The mind's got to go, I know exactly what you're saying. And then you've got to turn your mind on with really exciting words and put words in front of words. You can say, I am freaking awesome. I am magnetically lovable. I'm a powerhouse at work. I'm just awesome at IT. My business is the most successful, dynamic, amazing product. Because the mind sits up and listens. Your mind is going to make your words real anyway. That's its job. And your job is to have, first of all, words that make it clear, and second, words that make it so exciting.
So I love affirmations. I think a lot of people don't use them or maybe aren't even aware of what they are.
Yeah.
And certainly when I've talked to friends about saying affirmations, like, I don't believe it though. So why would I say it if I don't believe it? And it's like, well, you have to kind of trick your mind, right? And say it until you do.
You've got to lie, cheat, and steal. Lie to your mind, cheat, fear, steal back the phenomenal confidence you were born with.
Whoa. Can you say that again?
We should all lie, cheat, and steal every day. Lie to your mind, cheat, fear, steal back the phenomenal confidence that you were definitely born with. So let's imagine you're going for a meeting and you go, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I could die of fright. This stress is killing me. That's a lie anyway. The stress isn't killing you. You're not going to die of fright. But if you're willing to lie to your mind, why not tell yourself a better? I'm going to this appraisal. I'm going to be on fire. The words coming out of my mouth are going to be like, oh, awesome. And my boss is going to sit and go, oh, I love this person. They definitely need promoting. Because you might say, but that's not true. But neither is saying, I'm the size of a house, I'm stressed out of my mind, this commute makes me want to die. You know, our greatest problem in life actually is the lies we tell ourselves. Someone else can say, you're so boring, you're not interesting, you're not funny. And you might go, well, they're having a bad day, or they don't really know me. But the mind will try and work out why someone says mean stuff. Or even nice stuff, I love you, Laura, you're amazing, can I borrow your car? That, you know, we think, why are they saying that? But when you say it, the mind goes, well, if you're saying it, it must be true. And it sinks in like butter sinks into hot toast. And just like the hot toast cannot ever reject the butter, your mind can't reject the word. So once you get it, that every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response, you should get it then that you've got to keep upgrading your words. So just change the word nervous to excited, scared to brave, tired to energized, failing to succeeding. Because your mind doesn't know, and it really doesn't care if what you tell it is true or false, helpful or hurtful, useful or utterly useless. So when we say things like, this is driving me crazy, I am losing my mind, this is killing me, the mind takes that literally. And when you say, I'm having the best time, I'm on fire here, I'm powering through this. I'll give you an example. I worked with a girl whose mother had sensitivity to light and noise and everything. She could never go to a store or a swimming pool or a cinema. And the mother's favorite words were, I can't cope. I can't cope with light, it's too bright. I can't cope with heat, gives me a headache. I can't cope with you opening a packet of potato chips because the noise gets on my nerves. And so she began to say, I can't cope. And I want you to say something. I want you to say one thing that will change your life. I have phenomenal coping skills. And she began to say it. And she said, it's so weird. Nothing has changed except I'm coping with the traffic, the weather, because I've given my mind a suggestion which it has no choice but to make real. The thing we don't understand is you and I can choose to say anything. I can just go, life's terrible. The journey here was hell.
The traffic.
The light. I can choose anything.
I'm so tired.
My kids are making me go insane. I can choose to say that. But my body has no choice at all but to act on what I say. And if you could look in your body and see what it does when you say, I'm exhausted, I'm so tired, I'm out of my mind with something. My kid is making me insane, you know, then sleep through that. If you could see what that did, you would never do it again. Because we get to choose, but our body doesn't have any choice but to make the words we say real.
I love that. So this morning, last night, I was up until like 1 or 2. I was just up late. And then Alfie, my 4-year-old, wakes me up at 5:30. So my initial thought was, God damn it. You know, like I didn't get my full sleep. And then I was like, no. I'm going to Marissa Peer it. And I'm going to trick my brain into having energy. I'm going to tell myself, I'm so energetic today. I have so much energy and I'm fully rested. I feel fully rested and focused. And I'm not kidding you. Today, I feel rested and focused and energized.
Of course. What is that? You gave your mind a better suggestion and it made it real. It's like saying, gee, I can't remember a thing. I'd forget the eyes if they weren't, I'd forget my eyes if they weren't screwed on. I just forget everything. Or saying, you know what, I have the most incredible, dependable, super reliable memory. Whatever you tell your mind, it makes real. Actually, let me show you something.
Okay.
So put your hands together like you're praying.
Okay.
Close your fingers. And I want you to imagine that you've now got super glue gluing your fingers to your palms. I want you to press your hands so hard that you're able to keep saying, my hands are glued together, glued together.
My hands are glued
my
together.
palms are stuck tight.
Your palms are stuck
My
tight.
fingers are stuck to the back of my
My
hands.
fingers are stuck.
And my thumbs are glued tight.
My thumbs are
And close your eyes and just say, my hands are glued together, glued together, glued together.
My hands are glued together.
Until it feels like they've been carved out of one piece of stone. And while you're saying they're glued together, try to pull your hands apart. Try to pull your fingertips away from your back of your hand. Try to pull your thumbs away.
That's wild.
And now just drop them down. And so as I drop them down, they separate.
As I drop them down, they separate.
You see, nothing happened except you said something. My hands are glued together. Your mind has to make that real. I'll do another one. Put your hand in front of your mouth, like that. Everyone can do that's watching.
Do it, guys.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine you're holding half of a big, fat, juicy lemon. The most fragrant lemon in the world. I want you to sniff and really breathe in that gorgeous lemon citrus smell. I want you to squeeze that lemon so hard that drops of lemon come to the surface. I want you to quite literally stick out your tongue and lick off those lemon drops. And now open your mouth wide and shove that entire half a lemon in your mouth and eat it. I want you to bite it, to chew it, to suck it. Bite into the lemon so that all of the lemon bursts onto your tongue and your taste buds start to pucker and swell as you eat that lemon. Bite it, chew it, suck out the flesh, suck out the juice, swirl it around your mouth. And you'll find that you have to now pump out saliva to a thought.
Yes.
And now just open your eyes.
Wait, because saliva came out.
Of course it did, because your mind thinks you're eating a lemon. You know, lemon is very acidic and will destroy tooth enamel. 500 years ago, no teeth, no life, because how could you eat? We didn't have NutriBullets or anything to puree, so the mind goes, that's dangerous. Have all that lemon in your mouth, let me wash it away.
Whoa.
And you can do the same with an onion, and your eyes will start to water if you say, I'm eating an onion, because your mind is going to make every thought you think real. It doesn't stop to go, well, there is no lemon, because actually there is. It's in your imagination. You might go, there is no lemon. Well, that's true. But also there is a lemon. It's also true. It's in your mind, and your mind made it real. You knew it was silly and harmless.
Yes.
But you still made it real.
Absolutely.
Because your mind's job, your mind is making your thoughts real every minute of every day.
So I should stop watching crime documentaries and horror films?
Well, late at night, that's not great.
Okay.
But you can say, I'm watching this and it isn't real.
Yeah.
This is it's not real. Or I'm watching this documentary, but I'm totally safe at home.
Yes.
I'm safe. This is happening. I mean, it's not a great thing to watch FBI files before you go to bed at night, because you just fill up your head with bad stuff.
Yeah.
And if you must watch it, at least watch something funny for 10 minutes afterwards.
So is what you're talking about, is that the law of attraction or manifestation?
It's what I call the rules of the mind.
Okay.
You know, I've written about the 23 rules of the mind, because when you understand how the mind works, it makes it easy. I'll just tell you a couple that will help everyone listening. One is, every thought you think is a blueprint that your mind, body, and your psyche work to make real. Here's another one. The strongest force in all of us is we must act in a way that completely matches how we define ourselves. I'm a loser, I'm an idiot, I got a terrible metabolic, my immune system is rubbish. You have to act in a way that totally lines up with how you describe you.
Should I rename my podcast then? It's called
I think
Idiot.
that's quite, but
it's funny.
It's
It's self-deprecating.
It's fun. It's ironic. No,
exactly.
Calling your podcast that is even saying I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I got rocks for brains.
Yes.
And then here's another one. Every thought you think causes a physical reaction and an emotional response. And what's one of my favorites? Something that therapists find very vexing. The mind loves what is familiar. And your mind's job is to move you towards what's familiar and away from what's unfamiliar. You have a 2-year-old. You know how they go, I only like pink yogurt in a white bowl, and that yogurt's yellow, or I don't like green, that's got lumps in it. They want the same thing every day.
Yes.
Because when they were 2, exactly the age they could walk out into the prairie and pick berries and nuts, they only wanted to eat what they already knew. And that's how they never got poisoned. They go, I don't want that because I don't know it. They don't say that. But if you go, yeah, I know you don't know this. You've never had a plum in your life. You like apples, but today we're going to try a plum and just have a little bite, and then we'll have another little bite. We're just going to get, it's unfamiliar. They like the same, because for many years the same kept you alive. You know, if you lived in a fort, you wouldn't go, a bit bored with this fort. I think I'll go meet those Native Americans over there. Because they might kill you, they might not, but you didn't know. So we lived in walled cities, we lived in tribes, and we only wanted what we already knew. And for many years it kept you alive. And now we're still the same. Oh, I like dating losers, I like the bad boys, I like people who are not available. And if you have a father or a mother who's unavailable, that's so familiar that when you suddenly go, oh, I feel like I've known this person my whole life, we just clicked, it's because you recognize that behavior. And now you're doing something that's so strange but wired into us. Let's recreate what we know and change the ending. Let's find a cold, distant person, try and make them love us. Let's find someone unavailable and try and make them available. And you know, you don't want to change the ending, you want to change the beginning. But we are hardwired to recreate what we know and change the ending. People say, you know, I seem to like people who are aggressive or absent or controlling. Well, then you must have had a parent like that, because otherwise you wouldn't know what that behavior is. And if you're doing that, just say one thing: I'm not changing the ending, I'm changing the beginning. I'm going to go for a different type. It really is a choice. And you say it over and over again, and then of course, just like the lemon, your brilliant genius mind will start to make it true.
And you might not believe it at first, but it's important to just say those.
But you don't have to believe it. You didn't believe your hands could get stuck together to a thought. You didn't believe you could possibly pump out saliva to an imaginary lemon. You don't even need to believe it. You see, when you say things like, my butt's the size of a house, I'm starving, I'm dying of tiredness, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse, you don't really believe that. You know that you couldn't even eat an eighth of a horse. It's not possible. You probably, in the Western world, you probably never starved in your entire life. So we know that's not true, but we still say it. So you don't have to believe it. People say, I'm dying under the stress here. If I sit in this traffic one more day, I'm going to lose my mind. My kid makes me want to jump out of a window. We say really crazy stuff that we don't believe. So all you're doing is, well, if I'm already doing it, why don't I just adapt it to help me instead of hurt me? That's all it is, a little tweak. Instead of your words hurting you, they help you.
I see. Why is that? And I've become sort of addicted to doing that, because I think I was
It's a good addiction too.
It's a good addiction, yes. Because you start seeing results and you start seeing your life changing, and it's kind of miraculous. So I don't know. I just kind of, because I was the type that would have a journal of saying like, Laura, you're an idiot. You're not enough. You don't deserve love. Like I would actually write those things.
Wow, why would you do that?
Why would I do that?
Yeah, why would you do that?
You know, I would just say write down the worst things.
Why? I'm intrigued to know why you would write down the worst thing.
I think it was self-destructive. Why? At the time, I was probably late teens, early 20s. Pre-sobriety, like I just celebrated 12 years of sobriety.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Alcoholism runs in my family, and I think, I don't know, I just, for some reason, it was very odd. I was either like comatose or grandiose. It was like I thought I was amazing and I could do anything, or I should kill myself, and it was very extreme.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely more balanced and have a healthier mind, I would say, overall. I still have moments.
Let me help you out here,
Okay.
and everyone listening. Self-sabotage,
Yeah.
procrastination,
That I still do.
avoidance. They are nothing more than a belief that you're not enough. If the belief that you're not enough is the umbrella, everything underneath is that I avoid stuff, I procrastinate, I self-sabotage, I use food or drugs or alcohol. And what it is this belief that you're not enough is what I call the unspeakable truth that you don't want to get to. You go, well, it could have worked out if I didn't keep procrastinating, I would have got that great job. If I didn't keep settling, I would have got that great partner. If only I wasn't 40 pounds overweight, I could have found this great person to love me. If only I didn't drink, I could have had it all. But really, they are the presentable that masks the real thing, which is we all have a fear that we're not enough.
Why? Why is that an epidemic?
Well, it is an epidemic because of really media. If you have 2 babies, when little Poppy was born, do you think she went, oh my God, I've got 3 knees here, don't look at me. I haven't got any teeth, I've got milk spots, I've got no hair, I've got hair that's up here.
Yeah,
My
she did say
diaper's leaking. They just smile, their big gummy smile, even when their nose is running and they're just thrown up and they still go, well, of course you love me. How couldn't you love me?
They just shamelessly poop on me. Just no shame.
Of course they do. Well, how would they? They can't have shame because in the womb, it's like being in the 4 seasons. You have 24-hour room service. It's always 75 degrees and a person is always there. They tune into your heartbeat. So a baby in the womb thinks, wow, all my needs are met in here. And when they're born, they go, well, I need to wake everyone up at 2 a.m. Why wouldn't I do that? I need to be fed. I need to not eat. They don't like this. I'm going to just spit it out all over my top that my mum just spent ages washing and ironing because they have a belief, which is everyone is here to meet my needs. And all babies have that belief. I mean, I'm sure both yours did, mine certainly did.
Yeah.
And then very quickly, or certainly within a year, we start to chip away at that with comparison. That's the thief of joy. I mean,
comparison.
That's not someone else. I think was it Walter Emerson who said comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So we do to our kids like, your sister could read when she was 4. Your brother never got food all over the floor. Oh, blah, blah is so good and they can do it. And we didn't have messy writing like that, and schools do it too. They have streaming. I mean, I think that's appalling. And you put kids in the lower stream and the higher stream, and schools always reward achievement, never effort. My kid could have spent 10 hours on a project, but the smart kid that spent half an hour gets the prize. So that's totally wrong. And then, of course, magazines. Television, I mean, Friends.
Social media.
Well, Friends, how many waitresses live in Central Park? I've never met one. live on Central Park. That's just not possible. They look perfect.
Yeah.
And so we look at things and we think, oh, that's real, it's not real. And so we start to feel inadequate because we see someone who's just had a baby, looking amazing. We go, oh my God, Kim Kardashian's had 4 kids and look at her life. But it's not real. It's not real. And so we begin this, it starts with babies. So, my kid could walk at 10 months. So my kid did this and my kid, and we think, oh, mine didn't do that. I'm failing somewhere. But magazines and television overexpose you to what I call fake images of reality. We get overexposed every day, more so than ever. Everyone you look at's got a great home, a great body, a great life.
Is that just capitalism? They just want us to be insecure to buy things?
Yeah, it's a couple of things. It's people showing off. Many people who are putting stuff on Instagram, they've got a filter. It all looks amazing. It's very easy to shove all the junk in one and go, look at my white sofas. But it's not really like that. So it's showing off. Mm-hmm. It's trying to feel better than other people so you can feel superior instead of inferior. It's trying to keep up with everyone else who's doing it because now we think, oh, well, if everyone's doing it, I've got to do it. Wow. And of course, it's having to buy, we've become the stuff, we're buying so much stuff to make us. But here's a question. If all that stuff made you feel good, why do you need more? You've got 8 pairs of shoes or 10 Jo Malone candles. Why do you need 11?
Because the 11th one will solve my problem.
Yeah, no. If you're looking out there for anything to solve, you'll be looking in the wrong place. There is nothing out there. It's in here. You can't find anything out there to make you feel good. And outsourcing your problems to out there, I'll buy this, I'll have a better body, I'll have a nicer face, I'll have nicer stuff, I'll have more kids. you can't do that. It's in here. You have to start saying, I'm enough, just the way I am. I'm lovable, I'm enough.
You make it sound so easy.
That's because it is. It's, that people get this thing about if it's easy, it can't work. If it's free, it can't work. If it's not expensive, it can't work. But the stuff that works is easy. The real. If you were looking at the root of our problems in the Western world, I can tell you the common denominator is, and I'm not enough. I mean, I've worked with thousands and thousands of addicts. I've never met one ever who thought they're enough, ever.
Of addicts?
Addicts, yeah, alcoholics, drug addicts, people who are addicted. Poor Matthew Perry, what a shame that he's not here. He spent £7 million on therapy to stop drinking and using pain meds. But I don't think he ever worked on the real issue as feeling unworthy, feeling not enough. And if you look at Amy Winehouse, Whitney Houston,
Robin Williams,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, Robin Williams, George Michael Jackson, all these people, what did they have in common? Not one of them thought they were enough just the way they were. Robin Williams, I was at an event that he was at as a guest, and he went on stage and took over because he couldn't just be in the audience. He had to be the funny one.
Whoa.
If you listen to Amy's songs, I told you I was trouble, I'm no good. In that was what she thought she was. She believed she wasn't even worth helping. And so the not enoughness, it does sound, but it is simple. If you're looking at your issues, just take a minute and think, could it be that I don't feel good enough? Probably. You're in good company. 80% of us feel like that. Then I have another question. Where does that come from? There's not a chance you were born, but even if your parents didn't want you, still when you were born and left in a hospital, you would still cry and demand attention. No baby says, oh, I'm not good enough, I'll just lie here. I don't deserve anything. We still have that belief someone's coming. So I said, where did this come from? How did I get it? Who taught me that? What did they know? And even if it was true for them, is it true for me? And can I make it untrue? Can I just start to go, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I matter, I matter, I matter. We wear some bracelets because that say I'm enough to remind you, write it on your, make it your password. You have to type it out every day, obviously with some squiggles, and we've got to make that safe.
Now I know your password.
Yeah, but you don't because it has, I changed it, but it always has enough in it. But I might spell it E-N-U-F-F. Yeah, enough is better. Okay. I'm worthy, I'm lovable. So you can be confident at work or confident in what you look like, but still feel not enough. In fact, you could work really hard to look and appear confident, like Robert Downey Jr. But it doesn't mean inside you're not feeling the curse. So just, I'm enough.
Yes.
Say it, state it, affirm it, embody it, write it on your fridge, keep saying it, write it on your pillow so it's the first and last thing you see. Because it isn't a word, it's a statement of truth. And I like to call affirmations statements of truth. And then you're, just like the lemon, your body's going to make it real, even if you think it's crazy. So if you said every day, I've got the worst memory in the whole world, how long do you think it would take for that to become your reality?
The worst what?
If you said every day, I've got the worst memory in the world, just for fun, let's all say that.
I'm guilty of that, actually.
But how long do you think it would take before that became real?
I don't know, I forgot.
If you said, I get a nervous stomach when people talk to me, how long do you think that would take to become real?
Right.
What do you think? A couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months?
I guess it depends on how much we tell ourselves and how much you believe it.
Probably 4 weeks. If you said every day, I've got a terrible nervous stomach.
Yeah.
And every time people speak to me, I get stress in my tummy. I have to run to the bathroom. That would become real in about a month, probably more, maybe less. And if you said, I'm just so super chilled, I love talking to people, they love talking to me, that would also become real. So it doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
It has to be something you say, remembering your mind's going to make it real anyway. So the I'm enough, its strength is actually in its simplicity, but also its honesty, because you were born knowing that.
Right. And it's getting back to that.
Yeah, you know, when I was in lockdown, someone called and said, hey, we got these 7 little kittens.
The camera, we have to switch the batteries.
okay,
I just
that's
don't want to
fine.
like interrupt the
That's okay.
story. I think just quickly, I just love what you're saying, and it's made such a difference in my life doing these affirmations. So like,
And start to call them statements of truth. That's even better. Statements of truth. Because then you go, well, that's a silly thing. Because I'm making a statement of truth.
but here's the thing. So I went from being suicidal, drug addicted, journaling the worst things I could about myself, in abusive relationships with men, just dangerously impulsive, self-destructive, that
Right.
I was also funny though, and like talented, I would say, and driven. So it was this weird combination. But my life got so bad, I didn't care if I woke up the next morning. And then I had a moment of clarity that life was meant to be more than what it was. And I decided to put down drugs and alcohol and work on loving myself. And for me, that looked like figuring out what my defects of character were and becoming willing to be better and keep my side of the street clean and forgive people and like, you know, get rid of my resentments, walk through fears,
Wow, that's
blah,
good.
blah, blah, all that shit. It's 12-step stuff. And so like now I've been sober a long time and I have my dream job and I've got great kids and I'm in good health, but I still sometimes have that voice that pops in and says, you're not enough or you don't deserve this. Like it still creeps.
And what do you do with it, that voice?
Well, it depends. I feel I've gotten good at combating it with the words of truth, or what was it?
Yeah, statements of truth.
Statements of truth. Yeah. Like I feel a lot of the times my instinct is now, and now I'm on a Marissa Peer trip. So I'll have the self-limiting beliefs pop up and I'll pull up one of your meditations
good.
and it's so helpful. You guys have to look her up on YouTube. She has tons of meditations and you do hypnotherapy as well, right?
Yeah, both.
But I guess my point is, why does it keep coming back? I've done all this work on myself. Why do I still wrestle with it to this day? Is it you can't get clean off yesterday's shower? This is a daily reprieve. We have to do it like a prayer almost. Every day you have to tell yourself forever?
If you think back to 500 years ago, when you got up on the prairie, the first thing you'd look for, like when I was in Africa, you don't leave your tent in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. You put on a torch, you start to make a lot of noise, you stamp your feet, and then snakes go away. And if there's a lion nearby, it goes away. So you learn to be negative. I need to go pee, but it's very dangerous outside the tent. Let me smack the ground with a stick, shine a torch, might be a scorpion, put on shoes, and then, so we're doing something negative. When I was in Australia, every time you leave your house, you bang your feet really hard so the snakes go away, and you shake your shoes first because there are scorpions in there or huntsman spiders. So being negative kept you alive.
Whoa.
And to this day, we put on a seat belt. At night, I lock all the doors. I put the alarm on in my house. When I come home at night, this is where I live in Venice Canals, I look around before I get out of the car. Look, is anyone here? I open the garage door and then I look around, is anyone trying to get in there with me? So you have to be negative to be safe.
Whoa.
But it doesn't mean you're negative. It just means I'm looking for the worst possible outcome to be safe. And so this is just an extreme version. If I say I'm not good enough, who wants me, then I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm preparing myself for rejection. Nobody wants me. Everyone's going to ghost me. I'll never get that good job anyway.
Or that good man. I feel like that's a really popular narrative right now, is all men are trash. Men are trash. You can't trust them. All men are trash. I mean, Chris and I are guilty of saying men are trash. Men, and it's funny to us, but no.
And it's
that's
not
terrible.
because the mind has no sense. When you say there aren't any good men in the world, of course there are. You know, it's like a lot of my clients, I really got into what I do.
Can you hypnotize me?
Yeah, right
believe
now,
in that?
Sure, I'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
When I first began to be a therapist, I was mostly working with people who couldn't conceive. And they would say things like, I know the IVF won't work. Well, I'm trying to stop being disappointed. If I say it won't work, when it doesn't work, it won't hurt. Or when it doesn't work, it will hurt more.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even believe in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this relationship is going to go down the pan. I'm prepared. They're bound to reject me. They're going to find out I'm not good enough. And now I'm protecting my heart. You know, my daughter did a great thing. His hearts are wild creatures. That's why ribs are cages. And I love that. Because we're always trying to protect our heart. But the heart doesn't need to be, you have a very functional, it gets broken, it fixes itself. So it's all of these negativities to stop you being hurt, to stop you being rejected. You know, we come onto the planet hardwired to find connection, avoid rejection. And many of us will think, well, I'm not going to date anymore then. Then I can't be rejected. If I never go for that job of my dreams, I can't fail. But let's do some work with you right now. Tell me just a little bit about your family first. You were born to who? A mum and dad that were together? Just fill me in on that very quickly.
Yeah, so my mom and dad met when he was 15 and, she was 15, he was 16, high school sweethearts. They got married, they're still married to this day. Though my dad, who now has dementia, he was alcoholic and very, very avoidant. So I think he's called me maybe once in my life and it was on accident. I was like, Dad? He's like, oh, sorry, I packet dialed you. Bye, you know. And so, and also didn't like that I did comedy. Like thought, Laura, you should be beautiful. Women should be beautiful. Stop distorting your face like that and being a clown. Whereas all I wanted to do was be funny because that was like the thing I was really good at, was making my friends laugh. And I was like, this is what I want to do in the world. This is what I'm good at. I want to bring joy and laughter to people around the world. Like that was my passion. It was the thing that made me feel the fullest and the happiest, whatever. So that's what I did, and that's what I do now. But I think in the back of my head, I've always got this idea that it's like unattractive to be funny, and like men don't like that about me because of probably my dad. So it's just like one of those stories I need to somehow, somehow let go.
So let me ask you a question. If I could wave a magic wand and go, hey, Laura, here's a magic wand. Tell me what you want. What do you really, really, really want, require, desire? If you tell me, I'm going to do my best to make sure you have it. So what do you want?
I want to feel, I guess I want to feel enough and comfortable in my skin.
Okay. You want to feel enough and comfortable in your skin. What else?
I want just anything that I want.
Sure, what do you want? Pretend I'm a Spice Girl. Tell me what you want, what you really
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Go on then.
I want to be happy more than not.
Okay.
I want to be healthy.
Happy and healthy.
And have a really strong immune system. I want to be an even better mom. I think I'm a good mom, but I want to be even more present and patient with my kids. I want a long, healthy relationship with a dependable, loving, loyal person.
What's stopping you having all these things? What's stopping you being healthy, happy, good immune system, great relationship, knowing that you're a phenomenal mom? What's stopping you?
Well, I would say I have some of them, but what's stopping me? I guess my anxiety probably can weaken my immune system, so I'll get sick sometimes, or...
Let me stop you. I want you to say, I get anxious because, and just play Chinese whispers and end that sentence. Just say, I get anxious because, and finish that sentence.
Just say whatever
pops into your
head.
I
get anxious because life is scary.
And life is scary because?
And life is scary because I don't know what's going to happen next. Marissa.
And I learned that when... Go on, just say, I learned that when...
I learned that when... that's tough. I'm overthinking it.
Yes, okay. So let's go back. You said, I don't know what's going to happen next. Imagine if you lived in I don't want to disparage a country, but let's imagine you lived in a very backward country. And you knew it was going to happen. You knew you were going to get married at 16, and you're going to wear like this black outfit, and your life was never, every day was going to be hot. And you could, if you want to know what's going to happen, you look at your grandmother, because your life's her life. You're going to have the same life. You're
Boring.
going to get married, and you knew what's going to happen. I'm going to marry this guy. We're going to have loads of kids, and I'm going to eat the same food every day, and my kids are going to have the same life that I had. So then you would know, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm never going to leave this tribe. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What would that look like?
Yeah. Doesn't sound that interesting.
No, because knowing isn't always great.
No.
You know, we don't have to know. We have to know one thing. I'm going to live a great life.
I love that.
You don't have to. Knowing can be really, you know, if you had a handicapped child who would never leave home ever, you always know something going to live with you for the rest of their life. You would go, oh, I don't have to worry about who they're going to marry, where they're going to go, because they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Would that be good?
Not necessarily, no.
You know, knowing isn't great. Sometimes we say, you know, I know. That's that thing called SSDD, same shit, different day. I wake up and every day is the same. Nothing changes. It's the same. If I said to you, okay, Laura, for the rest of your life, you're going to wear whatever you've got on today. You're going to eat whatever you ate today. You're going to watch whatever you watched on TV today. And your life is going to be Groundhog Days. Nothing's going to change. The weather's going to be like this. And now you know. You're always going to wear that top and those jeans and eat muesli followed by a tuna fish salad. And you're going to watch, I don't know, Dateline every day for the rest of your life. Now you know.
Yeah.
How does that look?
Terrible.
Because, why does it look terrible? You know what, you just said, I don't know.
I'm already regretting this outfit already. I don't want to wear it again.
But you've got the certainty now of knowing how your life's going to pan out.
Yeah.
And that's what you said you wanted.
No,
now you've got it. What does it look like?
Not fun.
No, not fun.
But that's the thing, Marissa. It's like some days I get that, and I'm actually excited about the unknown. I'm going through a divorce, and my friends are like, "Why are you so happy?" I'm like, "Because life is exciting and fun, and there's so many opportunities out there, and I like the unknown." But then some days you've heard. Have you ever read A Course in Miracles? Or yeah, like that whole. I love how it talks about you're either in love or fear, and that's it. And so. Some days when I'm acting from love, it's like I'm not afraid of the unknown. I tell myself the best case scenario rather than the worst. And I think that's why I've manifested so much in my life, because I believed it was possible.
Yeah. Let me help you.
Yeah.
You know, I've trained probably 17,000 therapists all over the world. And I say to them, look, you know, we've always got to make this simple. We don't want to make therapy complicated or long. We want to make it simple. In my experience, it's only my experience, I've found there's only 3 things wrong with people. Every person who's come through my door for the last 37 years, they either think they're not enough, not good enough, not worthy enough, not smart enough, not lovable enough, not qualified, some way of not being enough. That's the one thing wrong with people. The second is, I'm different, so I can't connect, because we forget that as tribes, we have to be the same. We connect by being the same. When you feel different, it's much harder to connect. In a multicultural, it's very easy to think, oh, I feel different. You know, my father was my head teacher. I couldn't have felt more like a freak if I tried, but I'm very glad now, because I understood immediately going to school with your father being the principal made me feel so different. And I did have friends and I did connect, but I always felt like a freak.
Okay.
Because of that. And the third thing wrong with this is I want something and it's not available. I want love, but I'm not lovable. I want health, but I've got the anxiety gene. I want this career, but I'm not smart enough. So if I said, okay, Laura, there's only 3 things. This, again, it's an umbrella. There's other stuff underneath, but this is the umbrella.
Okay.
And you've got to pick one. You can have all 3. You're not enough. You think you're different, so you can't connect, or you believe that what you want is really not available to you. Which one are you going to pick?
I like that I'm different. It served me well, and so that's not really an issue. And then what was the third one?
What I want is not available to me.
That I don't believe, because I feel like I've achieved a lot in my life because of my mindset. But the I'm not enough, that's the thing that I still struggle with.
That's what 80% of us have. So why don't we just do some hypnosis?
Okay,
Instead of talking about it, let's go back and find out why you think you're not enough, and then change that to I am enough, and I couldn't be more enough if I tried. I'm always enough. How could you not be enough? You don't have to be. So people think, when I'm slim, I'll be enough. When I've got a great house, I'll be enough. When I've got a great love, I'll be enough. When I've got a promotion, I'll be enough. No, you're enough now. There is no terminal called enoughness to go to because you're enough right now, this minute.
That's the thing that tripped me out. I got the house, I
Yeah.
got the fame, I got the money, and still I wasn't enough.
Because that's the insidious belief.
Yeah.
The unspeakable truth.
Yeah.
I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And many people think I'm going to be famous. And they go, why are famous people so damaged? They're not. Damaged people become famous often so they'll feel enough. It isn't that fame damages you. It's the different take. Damaged people are drawn to fame so they will finally feel enough. But fame doesn't make you feel enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes it worse because now everybody knows you and you can't hide.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's dark. Sometimes I think dark things
I mean,
are
not
funny.
all famous people are damaged,
No.
but if you look around and think, well, I don't feel very good, and life isn't fair, and I don't feel love, you think, I know. We've got three choices here. I can become famous. I can become a famous athlete, but that's a lot of work. I could become a politician, but I could just be on a reality TV show and become famous, and that's not even work, and everybody will love me.
No, that's hard.
And you can pull that off, except the person that doesn't love you is the person that is you. So if the whole world loves you and you don't, what's the point of that?
But I just want to say though, and I feel like I'm justifying or getting defensive, and I don't know why, but I got into this to serve and make people laugh. It was just all of a sudden, I started reaching a lot of people doing that, and then I started getting like sort of high off of the attention of it, even though that wasn't the initial.
Because they were making you feel enough, but not permanently, So you go on stage, everyone loves you, and then when you go home, you think, oh, I'm still that same person. They love this wit, this body, but they don't really love me.
Yes.
Well, let's fix it. So make yourself comfortable.
We're fixing it.
Move a little bit closer to you.
What should I do? Do I have to take off my clothes?
Nothing at all. I want you to
leave them on.
And when you get hypnotized, it's the easiest thing. You want to go into an alpha brainwave where you look up, and then it's the same thing you do when you go to sleep. You know when your babies are going to sleep, because they start to roll, well, they're going to sleep because the eyes roll. Yes,
it's terrifying.
When I want if you do that with pets, they close their eyes. So I want you to look up as high as you can.
Okay.
Keep your eyeballs up there, but close the lids down. And you see you've gone straight into a REM, rapid eye movement. That means you're a great subject. So open your eyes, just past the first test. You're going to be a dream. You can relax your eyes for a minute.
Okay.
Creative people are massively suggestible. You cannot be one without being the other. If you're creative, you're suggestible. You're a comedian, you're a model, you've got great style. You have to be a suggestible person. Here's the two-edged sword. When you give yourself the wrong suggestions, it messes you up. And when you give yourself the right suggestions, it makes your life incredible.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you how suggestible you are.